The High Elves of Lindon and the armies of Erebor have allied together to face down Gondor and Dunland. An unstoppable alliance, many may say, elves and dwarves fighting side by side. But is it? We will find out today in today's Dawnless Days siege battle. Or it's sort of a siege battle at least, because it's an unfortified settlement. But I guess it is technically a siege battle. We still have the choke point, the grind is going on. We have Dwarven warriors already fighting here against a bit of a pike stack or a polearm stack. We have Prince's Coast Guards here and Gondor sword infantry stacking up against these Dwarven warriors. The dwarves and the elves certainly need to use some ammo to try and loot some arrows over the top of these walls and hit these polearms, because it's going to be otherwise pretty damn hard to kill those polearms off, that's for sure. Looks like already the elves sending forward some Noldorian spears, and they got their own archers set up as well. They're already dueling with the Dunherd archers. Certainly should just be focusing them down one at a time, and yeah, trying to focus down just one unit and then just move on to the next. The defenders have brought a lot of cavalry as well. I'd just like to mention this as well. Keep this noted for later on into the game. We've got also Gondor Cav there. We've also got Dunland's general and some Dunherd marauders there. So yeah, those are obviously being left for later on into the siege. But maybe the attackers are looking a little weak, or maybe just, you know, so focused on what's in front of them, they're not worried about what's in behind them. But yes, it's good to be back in the world of Middle-earth. You guys do love the Dawnless Days content, so yeah, we're just going to keep on pumping it out. And yeah, I'm hoping to get a few more scenarios and streams done, so hopefully we can keep these replays coming in, because I'm running low. But this one was sent in recently into the Dawnless Days Discord, and I felt I had to give it a look. We haven't checked out any unfortified settlements in a little while, and actually they've just knocked down this wall here, the dwarves. I didn't really just lean on the walls and they eventually just fall over. They're now going to be able to get side charges into the polearms here, as you can see. The dwarves should be able to cut these guys down. But yes, if you have any glorious Dawnless Days replays that you are needing to send in or wanting to send in, do send them into my Discord. The link is down below in the description. As always, it's the best place to send in replays, and it looks like already the Dunland Cav is getting ready. It's getting active, that's for sure. There is a bit of cavalry from the attackers. We've got Dale Escort Mercenaries. We do have Elven Noldorian Equestrians as well in play. So they've definitely got some units available, but not masses of cav. Certainly not enough to deal with all that Gondorian cav. Dunland, by the way, having a lot of troops set up over here. Whether they think there's going to be a sneaky little attack from this side, I don't know. There's a lot of resources just there for some reason. Whether they're now falling stuff back as well, so they're out of range of archers. Yeah, odd, I don't know. But yeah, you can see now the Dale Escort Mercenaries, they're being dashed to the other side to block off those Dunlanders. Polearms are starting to die, bit by bit. It's time to go. Yes, if you are enjoying the Dawnless Days content, if you're like, wow, I really love this mod, I've never heard of it before, and you want to see more of it, do remember leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and comment, show your support. If you want to download the mod as well, if you haven't already, then very easy to do so. Link is in the description as well. And you just need to have Total War Attila. That's pretty much it. But if you haven't heard of it, I don't know where you've been. You must be living under a rock, because this is like the most up-and-coming sort of mod there is. I mean, it's already been out for years. At this point, it's like, someone said it was like 8 years we've been waiting for a campaign. If it's been 8 years since it's been out, it's crazy. It really has, it is. Yeah, Arthurian Rangers here. Dueling with the Elven Archers is a pretty good matchup there. Arthurian Rangers have a lot less armor, but they definitely are outnumbering the Elven Archers here. Now they've got, what, 5 archers? We've got all the Dunland ones, and we've got some 2 Arthurian Rangers here as well. So that's certainly looking pretty good there on a range front. On a sort of melee front, spears are losing here quite decisively for Dunland. The shock infantry here, the Noldorian swords doing a very good job. And they'll be a good match for the Blood Avengers. Though the Noldorian swords are tier 3, Blood Avengers are tier 4. So quality is certainly with Dunland, but they can just spam these Noldorian swords out. You know, kind of like their bread and butter. More and more of them coming in. There you go, spears starting to break. And then after that, they can just start to assault this Dunherd sword line with the spears here as well. Like I said, a lot of reserves though for Dunherd. I don't know what the money was for this, but it seems like both sides have, if anything, even amounts of troops, to be honest. I mean, looking at the numbers, actually, Elves and Dwarves, because they have smaller units, actually have been outnumbered since the start of this battle. But that's, you know, numbers don't mean nothing to those two. They just need to have quality on their side, which they do, for sure. And they're flanking this polearm position nicely. The Gondor swords as well, also getting kind of screwed over. This is by their weaker infantry here. We have got some shock infantry here, but this is just dwarven miners. They're absolutely smashing through these Gondorian swords here. This is not such a great one. I don't know if they can knock down this wall as well. If they can just knock it over. I don't know. Don't know how they managed it. Didn't think you could do that in Total War, but evidently so. Cav is not really doing a great job of hiding itself. It's very much known that it's there. I mean, it is hidden, but it's also not hidden. I mean, this Gondorian cavalry here is moving forward. It's not hidden. So they know that they're there. If anything, the Elves need to send their cav over there just to, you know, match up with the Gondorians a bit nicely. Elves seem to have run into a bit of a blocker here. We've got the Blood Avengers that are still alive, holding them back. That's what's winning. Whether some of the Elves are also exhausted, it might be. Yeah, they're actually Blood Avengers are starting to die now. They're not dying on this side though. Again, the Elves are kind of getting stuck in their tracks. They've got plenty more Noldorian swords to send in, loads more, and they've got the Shipwright Nobles to also send in. So Elves have got plenty still in the tank, and like I said, they've got quality, and their units fight so low because they're such smaller units. They like fight to like sub 10 consistently for these tier 3 and tier 4 units. They're not going anywhere, and even if they're losing, they're still killing stuff. Problem is those archer towers, they could actually probably do with burning those out because they're firing fire arrows into these engagements here, probably do some damage. The Elves actually here are now turning this around. Cycling in a new Blood Avenger though, that might change the battle in their favour. Elves going to take this opportunity to pull back this Noldorian sword and I think do the same thing here. So yeah, it's just a game of cycling in and out shock infantry there. Crossbows have finally been activated, they're now over here. Looks like they're trying to shoot the Athelian Rangers, not a bad target. I mean, those armor-piercing arrows kind of wasted on those Athelian Rangers, but it'll certainly kill them. And they look like they're doing the same here to the Gondorian archers very nicely. Elves, if Gondor sends his archers back, should also reactivate their engagement with the Dunherd archers. I'm surprised the Dunherd archers here, sorry, the Noldorian archers aren't just firing from a longer range and just outgunning these guys. But it looks like the Elves are going to break through here. You can see both these Blood Avengers fell back. The spear here nearly broken. They actually, I think, accidentally pulled through because they're engaging the Blood Avenger. That might screw the Elves over. Might see these spears actually just, yeah, look, you can see both of those units wavering and breaking now because they've accidentally pulled through. I don't think he did it on purpose. Like I said, I think he was just like, gave the attack order on the Blood Avengers and they fell back and he just chased them. But yeah, they're going to need to send someone else in there because otherwise you can get a side charge here. Could the Blood Avengers can do some serious damage. Here comes some more Noldorian swords. He's keeping them well back so he's not getting shot for free. Smart man. But he's obviously meaning a long walk forward. So it's going to take a bit of time until that choke point's once again being engaged. So yeah, first sort of blood you can say there to Dunland. Gondor's swords here and the Prince's Coast Guard. They're starting to waver and break, but they've been like that for a little while. We've got shock infantry in here. We've got axes of Lozanark in the fight. They're one of the worst axes though, or shock infantry in the game. Do not rate them at all. I think they are officially tier 1. Maybe tier 2, but mine is certainly tier 1. Yeah, they are tier 1 as well, and they're pretty expensive, to be honest, for a tier 1 shock infantry. And look at that, the Elves have had to go back to square 1 on this flank here. Athelian Rangers still getting shot. The Elven Archers, yeah, they're actually fair in still really good condition. These guys are heavy bows, so they're going to take a bit of time to kill off. They're doing, yeah, a lot of damage to these Athelian Rangers. Otherwise, they're a pretty good hybrid unit. Once they're out of ammo, you can use them in melee pretty effectively as a ranged unit. Typically all can do that very well. They'll have pretty high melee attack. The elves and their golden armor here slowly getting dented and battered, covered in blood. They don't care. The Valar are on their side, and they have actually managed to knock another bit of the wall down. Whether they can form column there, get around that, if the player does that nicely. I think that I would call it relatively nicely. I think pathfinding's kind of screwed them a bit there. But if you just side charges now, just side and back charges this unit, it should be okay. They are. Yeah, I mean, it was dodgily done, but I think I'm going to say more to do with pathfinding than it was because of the player trying to pull through. He's getting to the backs there of those units. He's getting countercharged here, you can see by Dunhurt Swords. He needs to bring more infantry up, in my opinion. The Cav is now activated. The Cav is activated. They're going in for the Noldorian Archers here. And they've actually gone after Balin as well over here. The General charging Balin. He's a... and Dane Ironfoot. Oh, it's brought... he's glitched in Balin with Manchu Claim. It's okay. I'm surprised he didn't bring Balin as his general instead, because Dane is a shock infantry. It makes it very vulnerable to cav like this. The dwarves might be about to lose their general. Where's the dwarven cavalry? It's just marching. They'll escort mercenaries. You need to get a move on, get it quick. You need to catch this Dunland general. You might be able to kill him. That could be huge. And we got the Gondor Cav over here, just dealing with Elven Archers. You can see Elven Cav is also arriving. Dunland's got his Cav over here too.
Men are broken and are fleeing.
And it's all getting very messy all of a sudden. Elven Archers, like I said, were very healthy and a good amount of ammo left. Just get them out of it. Just pull them back. Nice, getting good charge then to Prince's Sergeants. If they can get the spears to go in, then those equestrians can move on. But yeah, a lot of archers here dying unnecessarily for no reason. Dunland is going to... Oh, that's Gondor there. He's going to lose that Gondor Cav, I think. Dunland's general here still not being dealt with. And the dwarves are not going to help and kill that, support that. If they can kill the Dunland general, it's huge. But instead, they're keeping all their shock infantry and their stuff just tightened up. Send an Iron Guard or something. Go and kill that general, to be honest. It's what you need to do.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
You can see there the equestrians. They try to pull out of combat with the sergeants, trying to support their archers. You see some of these marauders are starting to die, but Elven bows also starting to break as well. Spears doing what they can and try and saving their archers as quickly as possible. It's taking time. Spears just need to get in there. Just need to counter this cav as quickly as possible and rectify the situation. What? I mean, balance of power is going to shift massively once all this cav dies for the defenders. If it does all die, already kind of shifting out of their favor. Numbers are pretty close as well. It's only about 1,100 difference. That's pretty good for the Elves and the Dwarves. They can certainly claw that back, that's for sure. This grind is still going on here. Be interested to know how many kills those Prince's Coast Guard have got. They've been healthy and been in since minute 1. And they're still pretty healthy, that one, 109. The other one's dead. They're doing pretty well. And there you go, you can see finally that Gondor Cav's being dealt with. But yeah, they need to get stuff over here. Oh, they have brought another Cav over here, good. So we've got Noldorian questions. They are going to get Dunland's General here. That's huge. Dunland's General is about to just die. The big risk sending them out. And that could now obviously do a lot of damage to the morale here of Dunland.
Their general is
Boromir
dead.
is still alive. He's obviously not being touched. But there you go, that's the General dead. Dunland now is going to be in a bit of trouble when it comes to morale. These guys actually really aren't engaging. They're standing looking at each other. Whether the Elven player knows this, but he's kind of got bigger problems on his mind. And he's just dealt with those bigger problems. Gondor Cavalry is all gone. Elves certainly a bit battered. Those Elves and Archers have seen better days now, some of them. I think they managed to rout one fully. So in a way, they've kind of won the range fight, have the
This is
defenders
shameful.
there because they've just got rid of them all, but they've lost a lot of other stuff. A lot of cav and a general, more importantly. Whether because the dwarves has already pushed past this tower, whether they could actually flank here, I don't know. It would be a bit of a dodgy pathfinding move, but they could give it a go. Dwarves are slowly chipping away at these Gondor sword infantry, losing decisively. Just need to keep chipping away, keep hacking at them with those big axes of theirs. What have they got in reserve over here? We still got Dunherd chosen. Surprisingly, they haven't sent these guys in first over the Blood Avengers. Maybe they want to use their precursors. Maybe they feel like they're not going to get good use out of them. Don't know. Interesting. Elder Spears over here. They're wavering with no general. They are in a bit of trouble. Elves here. That's slowly getting a bit of an advantage. Blood Avengers are what are kind of keeping these guys at bay, but there's only so many of these Blood Avengers. Cav now it's sort of like dealt with the sally outs could actually go around and go for these back points and try and get into the settlement this way if it wanted to. As you can see, the final cap point is up there, so it's that other half of the city is not really necessary to defend, but or take, but they might as well try and do it, try and stretch the defenders potentially. Spears are winning in here, the Noldorian Spears, beating a lot of Sovnega, a lot of routing Dunland troops there, going. That choke point is opening up a little bit. We're going to see Dunherd's swords go into the fight. They're going to get a bit of a battering here from those Noldorian Spears and these swords, as those double-handed swords cleave into the necks these wildmen. I can see in the background over there a lot of Dunherd chosen. They're being activated. That's like that's like 500 troops coming forward there. And they're all going to throw their missiles, I have a feeling, first before they get sent in. Though it looks like a threat. Well, the Dunland sword is actually losing, but the Blood Avengers actually managed to sort of turn around and fight. They at least halt it for now. Dunland is certainly in a bad place, that is for sure. It's going to need, I don't know, not a miracle, but going to need some good plays to certainly turn this one around. Archers, yeah, they're wasting their ammo on those. I would just save my ammo now and not shoot the Noldorian archers. They're pretty, you've kind of won it, the archer fight, like I said, by using your cav. I'd save your missile ammo for probably Noldorian nobles or the Noldorian swords as they come forward. Potentially just try and shoot those down because you're going to get better kills. Gondor's still holding here nicely. You might need to start sending stuff to help Dunland. The Dwarves are really not making any progress in comparison to the Elves. I mean, yeah, Gondor's got like multiple units here in reserve. I mean, it's got a lot of shock as well, though it is tier 1, so how useful it's going to be. The Sicilian Rangers are all pretty battered as well, actually. All of his archers, yeah, are in a pretty bad state. Surprised he brought Sicilian Rangers. I would have probably brought cheaper archers and then had more infantry, to be honest, and brought like Pelargir Marines or something. I feel like that's always the play. Cheaper archers, probably a better idea, especially when you're facing like elves. Who cares what archers you have? You're going to get them killed.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
There you go. Actually, they managed to break that choke point over there. The spears and the shock infantry has been defeated. We are going to see the cav go in, though, I think, here in a minute. And I don't blame them because they're just going up against shock and swords. It's a good choke point for them to just charge in. Cav can't really be much use apart from just charging into these open choke points. Here we go. In he goes. Good use of the cavalry. Can get some more kills. Weaken up some of this infantry before another wave of Noldorian swords and the shipwright nobles go in. And there you go. There's immortal riders doing what damage they can. They are doing some decent damage as well. Actually, were they going to stay in there? That's probably not the wisest idea. I wouldn't stay in the choke point. I'd probably pull back now. We're going to see Erebor axes go back in. I think they're maybe just trying to, you know, cycle charge a little bit themselves here. I don't know if their crossbows are still alive. Yeah, there's still crossbows, just not using them, sending them back just into the rear. I mean, if they wanted to, they could set up their crossbows here, could the attackers, and they could just side shot this choke point. And that would be a really great help for the elves right now. They could just, just do so much damage. Yeah, those crossbows instead just being used on their own side. But that's always a prime spot, sort of around here where my cursor is. Get side shots into, well, just any of these choke points. And that's how you open it up. Good cap charges here. Look like they're going to rout these Dunherd swords as well. Certainly the weak ones. Yep, there goes one. Another one might go in a minute. 46 of them left. They're getting baited out as well. Look at that. Dunland getting baited out, and you can see they can get charged again by the elves. Not exactly a great charge, I would add, but hey. Need to bring up some infantry, trying to help him out, but the cav is doing some really good work here, routing Blood Avengers. Dunherd swords here, these charges are doing okay. Might be able to get another one here, yeah, and he's going to go for the archers. There's a very big gap in the line, and he should be able to get through and get the archers here. And we're going to see also Dale's cav, well, Erebor's cav come over here. But it's Dalian troops. And the cav here, again, getting an easy archer kill. After that is, I mean, shock and more archers to charge. There's loads of options. Yeah, but need to bring up some more infantry just to help pin some of this these swords down. I mean, look at that, wavering at 101. It's huge, huge. Dunland has all sorts of trouble. Gondor swords here starting to break as well. Archers, yet they're on the brink of just fully routing as well. Gondor holds on. For now, Gondor holds on.
Men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Barrett Guard are starting to run out of steam, and they're sending an Iron Guard now, which is not a bad unit to send in on the attack. Even if it is a spear unit. But they're running out of reserves themselves, the Dwarves here. The Gondor has run them dry. If they could have got Dane, that could have been huge in killing off their lower tier stuff a bit earlier. Elven Cav is all but spent as well. That's all been routed going into melee, as you can see over there. Dale's, the Dale's escort mercenaries here, they're all starting to get burnt out as well. Looks like most of them use their javies, or their axes. And here comes the elves. He's going to send in his Noldorian archers first. He's saving his remaining shock and his swords until he actually needs to use them. He's going to use anything else but his remaining infantry. I quite like. So I do think Dunland is for the taking. I do think he's pretty much done.
Shameful display.
Still got Dale Cav alive here. And these archers actually broke pretty quickly. The Elven and Dalian Cav, they're all routed. Might as well just send in the infantry now, just deal with these Dunland troops while they're outside the settlement. Dunland fully committed here, but I don't think he's going to get a chance to get back. The elves are pretty much quicker than him. Dwarves here still be just stuck in their spot. They're really not moved for a solid like 5 or so minutes. Breakthrough is going to be over here if there's going to be one.
Our men have rallied.
And in go the Dunherd Chosen. I mean, they're equal in tier. I'd certainly say that the Noldorian sword is better in quality. Dunherd Chosen will probably like need to use their precursors first, then get the better off. Armor-wise, certainly, obviously, the Elves are a lot better. There you go, actually, Dunherd Chosen winning that fight. Elves are actually being beaten back, whether they just didn't get a good charge. He's going to keep cycle charging as Dunherd Chosen. Here come the elites, though. Shipwright Nobles being sent in. The axes are, to be fair, the swords are nearly spent. They are nearly dead. They might as well send the spears back in as well. They're pretty healthy. And they've done relatively well in most cases here. Finally, we might be able to see the crossbows act and, you know, just help kill off some of Dunland. If they could just shoot Dunland in the back here, they would open up this choke point for the elves and they would win. But maybe the dwarves, you know, they're just stubborn. They just don't want to help their elven allies and let the elves be the first inside the settlement. They're like, we will get there first.
The unit is running from the enemy.
We refuse to help the elves get there any quicker. I honestly find this one really hard to defend, to be honest, as the defenders. You can see there's actually a bit of a mass route taking place. These Dunherd archers and stuff, they're all starting to break quite quickly. But yeah, I think it's hard to defend as the defenders. I think it's such an open sort of map. You definitely, I feel like you need to try and do sally outs, try and neutralize archers. You've got to win that archer duel to start with. That's absolutely massive because I think you can just get outflanked from so many sides with like enemy archers. Like you try and make a defensive choke point somewhere, the enemy will find a way to get back shots or side shots into your troops and help your side lose the melee fight. So I do feel like it's pretty tough. And there you go, another mass rout sort of taking place. So more of the archers go. You see Dunherd Chosen go in a moment here. Boromir's still not yet crossed the river. He might want to start thinking about doing that, unless he plans to just flee for his lives.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Gondor and his knights here still holding on. The dwarves have been well and truly matched here by Gondor. Done a really good job, to be honest, holding these guys back. Like I said, Dunland losing his general is the only reason I think that this is collapsing as it is, because otherwise I think the elves could have been in for a really close and tough match. So I thought it was odd Dunland sending his general out in this mass sally. Boys in silver here, the Shipwright Nobles, they are just about going to win that fight there. And well, not just about, they've won it with quite a lot of boys to spare. But there you go, they're in. You see the crossbows now going to get rear shots onto Gondor. That's his aim all along. Wasn't wanting to help the elves.
Keep him alive.
And the elves can just rear charge if they want to as well. But yeah, here comes Boromir. Surprised Gondor maybe didn't want to retreat back to the final choke point, but maybe he knows it's over wherever he stands. He will die, whether it's now or in 5 minutes. The volleys coming in, doing quite a bit of damage to those Gondor swords, turning a lot of them into, well, the spears are losing now, getting armor pierced. Those crossbows, they can now arc, which is such a huge thing. It's still a terrible range, but now that they can arc, a bit more viable to use. Elves are on their way. They're just mopping up, just weaken Axel Losnar, Castilian Rangers. Got the general in here as well, the Noldorian noble general. Boromir is the only sort of real resistance there. Crossbows just firing to the backs of these guys, and they might look like they are finally breaking through Gondor sword infantry here. 43 of them left, wavering. It's like finally those area myths from veterans, those guys that literally look like Koskals. They're going to break through. I think we're going to see a match out. Actually, Boromir breaking at 110 out of 110. Then we're going to see the Warriors of Losnar here hold on for like 2 seconds, I imagine, before getting routed. And there you go, a victory for the Elves and the Dwarves. They have 1,300 left, but they were vastly outnumbered to start this battle, by nearly 2,000. And they managed to win that fight. I think massive help was the Dunland General getting himself killed in a cav fight. Otherwise, I think a pretty faultless game played by both sides, relatively. Maybe Dunland also getting baited out the Settlement Walls, not really great. He got cycle charged quite a bit by Shock and Cav. But I think he kind of also knew in a way that with his no general, the game was kind of up a little bit. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy. We'll have a quick look at the unit stats and kills before we call this one. But yeah, this one was sent in by Drago, who was playing as Lyndon, so well done to him, and to Ian Nilo, playing as the Dwarves of Erebor. But he got 157 kills here with the Shipwright Nobles, 101 with another one there, 111. And these guys didn't see action to the end, so they did well for kills. Noldorian Swords, 247, 145, 185, 175 kills here. 132, yes, the Shock did pretty well. Spears did well as well, 131, 112, 133. And then his Arch is getting 110, 145 kills. And the Cav, 220, 259. Not too bad. Then we have the Dwarves here. Yeah, I mean, Dane got, like, just charged down. So he's spattered, but only got 9 kills. And then the Dwarven Warriors sent in a bit of chaff, sort of, to weaken up the enemy. Getting 94 kills, though, is not too bad. 166 with the Eremith from Veterans. Barrett Gar getting 197 kills, 126. 116 with the Erebor Axe Warriors, which is okay, but not great. I certainly feel like the Dwarves had a bit of a rougher day when it comes to kills. Crossbows, 173 kills, 156, 214. And then the Cav getting 63 kills, one of which was a very important Dunland kill. And we have Batwin Max playing as the Dunland tribes, 105 kills with his Champion Reaver General. His Dunherd Swords getting like 69 kills, I think, is the best of the bunch. I mean, they are fighting elves, they're going to have lower kills. 111 kills here with the Dunherd Chosen, 91 with another there. His Blood Avengers is the best, 112, 176, 139. Then his sort of a Cav getting 72 kills, his Archers not getting many. Then we have Squiddy play 999 playing as Gondor. His Swords here getting 111 kills. His Axes getting 78 kills. His Polearms 153 kills, 145 kills. So very good kills fighting dwarves. And his Cav, yeah, definitely. I mean, like 1 kill. Oof. 11, yeah, not massive kills. And his Athelian Rangers 42, 43 kills. Also not great either. But there you go, guys. That is today's Dawnless Days Siege Battle. If you did enjoy and want to see more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and comment to show your support. And if you're craving a little bit more Lord of the Rings and you need another hit, do check out some of the videos appearing on your screen now. Until next time, folks, though, I'll see you later.